So he's standing behind my car. No, you're not going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. So I ain't just running over him, you know. I let my foot off the brake and it was in reverse. So I heard like doo, 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 doo. Hey girl, hey. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I'm going to be doing a makeup tutorial while I tell this story time about how I ran over my ex-boyfriend because he was playing with me. Well, it's a lot more to it than him just playing with me. But anyway, I ran him over and I'm about to tell y'all why. But before we jump into that, I'm going to be using some dollar store brushes. I got a few things from the Dollar Tree. So all $1. They're Wet n Wild brushes. I'm pretty sure that you've heard of this before, but you ain't did it with me. So we are going to jump right into it. So first, I tried, I want to try this little eyebrow thing before we get started. I don't really know how it's going to react, but we're going to work it out because we in this together. Now, I'm going to be looking in this direction, but I'm going to be talking to you. Okay? Let's see. So I got this little shape and stay brow pencil situation. We're going to see. We're going to see about that. Anyway, so I met this guy, right? And I met him through a mutual friend. Well, it was a friend of him, a cousin of me. So my cousin was like, she had hit me up. She had called me. She was like, I know this dude. He came to my dude, right? And he was checking out your pictures on Facebook. And you should really, you know, check him out. He a good dude, blah, blah, blah. And he been asking about you nonstop since he seen your little pictures on Facebook. And I'm like, okay, well, who is dude, right? So she give me his Facebook page. Now, mind you, I had seen him before on Facebook, but it wasn't no, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna jump in his DMs because I just gotta have it. I ain't really know him like that, and I'm not a bold type of person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, well, I'm bold, but not that kind of bold. I'm not bold when it comes to getting your dude and all that type of stuff. Anyway, so he had already written me on Facebook, but you know how you do Facebook messages, like you really don't pay no attention to them if you don't know that person. So and this was back in like 2012, 2013, one of those years. Oh, and I already got his permission to tell y'all. He was like, yeah, you need to tell it because it might go viral. So if it does go viral, we're going to use code names. So we're going to call him Omar. So Omar was in my inbox, right? And, you know, we get to talking. He like, oh, I got to see you. Now, at the time, I was living in Dallas. And I would come back home to East Texas every now and again. Like, it wasn't very often, but I would come, you know, to see my people. I would come to mingle and stuff like that. And then I had a lot of family and friends down here, you know, that I just came to see. And I had some clients down here because I was selling cards at the time. So, you know, me and him, we chopping it up, whatever. We get close and we actually start to vibe, right? That's boo. So I actually ended up coming down here. Now, I don't think I was selling cards at the time. I think I was selling makeup. I was selling Mary Kay makeup, y'all. I've always been about my hustle, okay? So I had come down because I don't remember if I just had some clients that wanted to buy some stuff or what, but I didn't just come down here to see him. I know I had came down here for another reason. Oh, and this is an elf brush. Is what I mean, not an elf brush, a Wet n Wild brush. She came from the Dollar Tree as well. But yeah, so I came down and we ended up linking up. So I had met him over one of my friends' houses, you know, and he was like, I'm gonna take you out. But we ended up not even going nowhere. Like, I think we went to a party or something. We went out, like to a club or something, but that really wasn't my scene, so I didn't, you know, I was just chilling. And then we ended up having this little date at the park where we ate some Taco Bell. Y'all, it was so corny, but it was so sweet at the time. So, whatever. And boom, that's my man. We together, right? But I go back home to Dallas for a little while. I think I stayed home for like 2 more weeks. Now, I would come down there pretty often at this time. So it wasn't like, you know, he just had to miss me a lot. I was coming down there making sure I see my man, because that was my man. And hold on, y'all. This was my man at the time. So I come back down. I say we because it was me and my daughter. She was like 2 or 3 at the time. My baby wholly living now. But I come down here. It was for, you know what? I came down here for a Mother's Day car show. So yeah, we spending time and we get ready to go to the car show. So we load up the car or whatever, and my baby, she went with us because, like I said, it was like a family reunion type situation, and I knew we wouldn't be out there too late to where, you know, it would make, you know, well, you don't have your keep out too late, because I mean, come on now, way. He had went his own way to you know, chop it up with I think his cousin came that night. So he went and did his little thing, and I was doing my thing. So, like, you know, I've never been the type that'll just be all up under my man. Back then, I was a whole thug out here in these streets. But anyway, so I let him go do what he did. I was sitting there chilling, and I was with, you know, my friend or whatever. Not too much going on, you know, they playing music, they making their rounds, giving shout outs to people walking around. You know, when I think about it, we really wasn't doing nothing. Like, we were just outside listening to music pretty much. So all of a sudden he comes over to me and he was like, come on, let's go. So I'm like, what's going on? You know, like, what's going on? He's like, no, I'm ready to go. Ain't nothing going on. Just come on, let's go. It's been got boring. It's getting late. You got the baby out here. You know, come on, it's time to go. So I'm chilling, right? Like, I'm not really, I wasn't ready to go, but I was like, okay, you know, whatever. He ready to go. Maybe we finna just go spend some time, right? So we riding, and I'm paying attention to him. Like, I'm not really down his throat about why he wanted to go, but I'm paying attention to his body language, right? So we riding, and he's driving my car. So I'm like paying attention to him. Like I'm not really saying anything, but I'm watching. My mama always told me to watch your surroundings and, you know, pay attention to who you with, because you never know what's going on, but you can read people, like discernment. So I'm like just kind of looking at him, you know, and paying attention to his body language. And he is going like 90, trying to get home, right? So I'm like, what is going on? I was like, you need to slow this car down. My child is in this back seat. Like, what is you doing? What is wrong with you? What's going on? Okay, so remember I told you it's only 20 minutes away. So it's not no long ride. So about halfway there, mind you, he was driving reckless and he looked upset, but he never said anything to me. So he looked upset, but he never said anything to me. So, you know, I'm just kind of paying attention. Always pay attention and always trust your gut, because your gut know better than you do. Okay? So, that's pretty much all I'm gonna do to the eye. Nothing major. I'm gonna go in and put some gold right there to open my eyes up just a little bit more. So anyway, we riding and I get a little ding on my phone, right? Ding! On Messenger. And it's from this girl I don't recognize. Now, back then, they didn't have that little thing where the inbox, you know, separates itself from people that you know and all of that type stuff. No, everything just came through. So I opened up the message. He not looking at me at all. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't giving me no indication that it's gonna be some drama, right? So I open up the message. It's a long message from this female. And she was like, hey, I just wanted to pretty much introduce myself and let you know that me and Omar have been fooling around for so and so many years. We was broken up when y'all got together, but we still mess around. I got text messages. I got this in there to prove it. I can show it all to you. I can even bring it to you. And I see, then I wasn't as reserved as I am now. So I was reserved with him because I didn't want him to try to stop me from talking to her. So I didn't let him know what was going on, right? I didn't let him know what homegirl just wrote me. I just read the whole message. And I was like, okay, cool. And back then it would, you know, like screenshotting and sending and all that. That wasn't the move back then. Back then you had to come and show me proof. So homegirl said she was gonna come show me, right? Cool. I said, you know what? We on our way to his house. Meet me there. Bring me this proof you got. So whole time I'm still not giving off anything. I'm not letting him know that it's no issue. I'm not letting him know, you know, homegirl just wrote me or anything like that it's gonna be some drama. No, I'm not saying nothing. So my daughter was asleep by the time we got there. So I left her in her car seat, but I just took her out and, you know, brought her inside. So she was sleeping in our car seat, and she was sleeping in her car seat. And I was like, okay, she good. His mom, she was inside of the house. Her and her husband. So, you know, I knew she was good before I made any kind of movements. So I go outside and he like, what's going on with you? What you got going on? Like, what you doing? I was like, oh, nothing. I'm just chilling, talking to my cousin on Facebook. He was like, oh, okay. He was like, I'm gonna go in here, and he said he was gonna do something. I don't remember what it was he was gonna do. I'm waiting on homegirl to show up so she can, show me this proof. So I'm sitting outside. She pulled up in this like Durango truck like situation. It was like a truck. It wasn't a SUV. So she pulls up, and I'm not giving her name because no. She pulls up, and she gets out. She like gets out, but she don't get all the way out, right? So I go over to her and I said, show me what you got. So she shows me the messages or whatever. And the messages weren't damning or anything like that, but they were still in contact with each other. The messages weren't like, oh, baby, I love you. I'll never leave you. I'm just playing with this girl. Like, none of that stuff. Like, it wasn't none of that. I remember looking at the messages like, okay. He still had some loose ends, he still hadn't tied up all his loose ends. Now, we hadn't been together very long, couple months, that's all. We haven't been together very long. I'm like, okay, well, maybe he just, he just, was like phasing himself out. Now, I was young, so, I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. So, he come outside, and he like, he know it's gonna be some drama. Now, mind you, I didn't want no drama. I didn't want no smoke with homegirl because she didn't owe me any loyalties. And I wasn't in a relationship with her. I was in a relationship with him. If I was gonna have some smoke, I was gonna have the smoke with him. I didn't wanna go there with her because, for what? Behind a nigga? No. Behind a dude? No. I wasn't gonna do that. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, so she tells me, you know how females do. She tells me that y'all is still in a relationship, that y'all are still messing around. And excuse me, but I thought we was still in a relationship. We was in a relationship. So you need to tell me what's going on. Like, I'm mad. It ain't like that. This girl, she lied. He said she lying. This girl lying. It ain't like that. We ain't together no more. This is my ex. We used to be together. Blah, blah, blah. I'm young, but I ain't dumb. So I'm like, okay. I'm looking at her. So was y'all together or what? I'm expecting her to tell me the tea. Like, what's up? You done came out here. You done brought this to my attention. All this type of stuff. And she telling me, like, at this point, I guess she's upset because he's not like, yeah, we messing around. He's not taking accountability for their relationship. So she's not like, she's not rowdy with me, but she's like, she's like telling me, nah, we've been messing around for this long. You see right here, look at this, blah, blah, blah. And he's still denying it. I'm like, okay, so at this point, I know there's still something going on, but I don't know, like to the extent. Because, females will see you in a situation or see their ex in a situation and they'll try to come in and try to ruin it because they feel like if I ain't got you, I'm not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy without me, pretty much. So, I'm still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And then she says to me, we ain't gonna never stop messing around We're going to always mess around. We got a bond that can't be broken, blah, blah, blah. He going to always be mine. I don't care how long y'all in a relationship for. So at that point, all of my rationality went out the window. And I was like, okay. So I remember walking up to her side of the truck. Mind you, she was still in the truck the whole time. And at this point, his mom and her husband had come out. And I think I had put my daughter in the car because I was about to go. I was about to leave. Like, you're not finna play with my feelings like that. And then I'm just gonna stick around. So I told her, like, get out the car. She was like, oh, what? For what? What I'm getting out the car for? I said, get out the car. I was like, come on, I want to talk to you. In private. And she was like, no, I'm not getting out this car. I got too much to lose. Or something she said like that. Because she was a nurse. I got too much to lose. So he kind of like picked her up and like put her in the car. And with him doing that, he threw his back out. He threw his back out. So me and her, we still arguing or whatever. And I'm telling her, like, if you about it, like you say you about it, what's up? Like at this point, I want to fight because I feel disrespected. Not because she was talking to my dude or nothing like that. And I felt like, that was going to get him back or nothing like that. No. I felt disrespected because homegirl was like, we ain't going to never stop messing around. It's always been me and him. We always gonna fool with each other. This temporary, like shit. Homegirl was real disrespectful with the mouth. Okay, I want to get disrespectful with my hands at this point. So, it was kind of like a scuffle. I'm trying to get to her. She not trying to get to me. Like, she acting like she's trying to get to me, but she's still in the truck. And his mom was holding her, kind of like in the truck after he had put her back in there. And, so, anyway. His mom had like put her back in the truck. Oh no, he put her back in the truck and his mom was holding her back. And then she was like trying to talk to me at the same time. And she was like, Jazz, your baby out here. Now my baby was still asleep. She was in the car. Like she didn't hear nothing. She was in the car. Because I had put her in the car after the girl had showed me the messages. Because at that point, I was about to go. Like I was not about to stay there. And because I knew he was going to get to line and doing all that extra stuff. So he ended up like hitting her truck. And he was just like so mad doing all this. And I remember at one point, how when you just on go, you calling people out their names and stuff like that. And I had called her a bitch. And he was like, don't call her no bitch. And I think that was like the turning point for me. Because who you talking to? And you supposed to be in a relationship with me. And you telling me don't call her no bitch. Now I got to show you who really won. Because you done lost your mind. So I'm going off at the mouth, I'm trying to get at her or whatever. They end up getting her in the car and she pulls off. So I see he don't hurt his back, but at this point I really don't care. Because I don't care. So I leave and I go back to the next town over, which is my hometown, and go to my aunt's house because that's where we were staying that night. That's where we were staying. Like, I was down there for a visit, but I went and stayed with my aunt because, That's like where all the family goes to stay when they come into town. So I go there, and then I remember like a couple hours later, the my phone starts dinging. It's not him, it's his best friend. He was like, I don't know what you and Omar got going on, and I really don't care. But he is in the hospital. Something is wrong with his back. And I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. And I was like, okay, I'm on my way. So I end up going to the hospital to see what's wrong with him. Now, it took a couple of weeks for us to like really figure out what is wrong with him. So I end up kind of like sucked back in. Because of course, you know, he apologizing and all that. I'm young, and he telling me how sorry he is and all that, and then I end up like kind of like taking care of him. So a few weeks go by, and we find out that he had slipped the disc in his back. So he definitely needed some taking care of for a little while. And I was there to take care of him in combination with his mom and her husband, you know, kind of like assistant as well. I can't remember what happened on why I left, but I ended up leaving, and then I had went back to Dallas for a little while, you know, and when I left, we were on good terms. No issues, right? So I leave, and then I come back for another occasion. I can't remember what the occasion was. I want to say it was like, I want to say it was, I want to say it was like Labor Day or something like that, because my family always has something around that time. They have something for my uncle, and then they have like our reunions and stuff like that. I don't think I went to the reunion, but I know I came down here for something. Like, I didn't just come just to be coming. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go stay with Bae and, you know, see him or whatever and spend some time with him. So I go back down there. I'm spending time with Bae. I'm in the house, like getting ready for something. I can't remember what it was I was getting ready for, but I know I was getting dressed, right? So he went to the store while I was in there getting dressed, right? So I'm in there. I didn't wear a lot of makeup at the time, but I wore makeup. So I was the type of person, I was like, I make sure my eyebrows are done, and you know, a soft little bead. It was really nothing major. So I'm in there doing my makeup and stuff while he goes to the store. I'm not expecting anything. At this point, my daughter, she's with my mom, I think. I wasn't on mommy duty at that time. So I'm in there, I'm doing my makeup, all of that. And I'm just chilling. I think I'm playing music, I'm vibing, whatever. And I hear a scuffle outside. So I'm in there putting my makeup on. And I hear the scuffle. And I'm like, dang, what's going on out there? You know, I didn't go outside. And I hear a bang, on the window. I was like, what is going on? And then I hear him, get back. He was like, get back, girl. And I said, who is this he out here fighting with, right? So I put on my tennis shoes, put my hair up, and I walk outside. I'm like, what's going on? Because at this point, I already know it's about to be some drama. Like, I could just feel it in my stomach. I could just feel it. It's about to be some shit. Okay? So, I go outside. It's her. And she like, didn't I tell you? We didn't stop. What did she say? We didn't stop messing around because you went back to Dallas, and thank you for nursing my man back to health. And like, homegirl was bold. And at this point, I'm like, I want you now. Like, I want to put my hands on you now. It's about to go down. So I'm telling her, get out the car. Get out the car. And he was like pushing me back. She was still in the car. Like, I didn't understand what all that was about. She was still in the car. So I'm telling her, get out the car, get out the car. And she looking at him and she like, Omar, you know my track record. So yeah, she like, Omar, you know my track record. You know what I could do. I already told you I got too much to lose. And I'm like, what you come out here for? Like, you had to know I was going to want to put my hands on you. And you coming out here telling me that you still sleeping with my man. Thank you for nursing him back to health. And, you know, like really being disrespectful at the mouth. The man is the smallest part about it. Like, that's the smallest part about the situation. The issue was she was disrespectful. They could have, you know, they could have been cheating in peace. Like, you bringing me this information, not cheating in peace, because I wouldn't stay with him if I just knew he was actively cheating on me. No, what I mean by cheating in peace, like, what is you telling me for? And then with you telling me this, what do you expect me to do? Like, how do you expect me to react to the fact that you're telling me that you're sleeping with my man? Okay, so she doing all this, going all off at the mouth and stuff like that. I'm going off at the mouth. I'm trying to get her at this point. Like, I'm trying to reach in her car, get her out of the car, all that type stuff. He holding me back, all that extra. She was like, Omar, you know my track record. He said, I know she's gonna beat your ass if you don't go on somewhere. And he telling her, go on somewhere, go on. So, you know, I'm trying to get her, all of this type of stuff. She end up backing out. So I jump in my car, crank my little car up. I had a little Mitsubishi Galette. It had like a little I love haters tag on it. Anyway, so I jump in my little Galette and he gets behind my car. He's like, nope, you're not going nowhere. Nope, you're not going nowhere. I'm like, I'm finna go rock her shit. Homegirl, no, I'm finna go rock her jaws. Because homegirl that came over here and disrespected me, and she did all of this, and she did it for what? Like, what are you doing? What were you trying to prove? So I'm telling him, move. I ain't got nothing else to say to you. Move. Get out the way. I said, if you don't get out the way, I'm going to move you. So he's standing behind my car. No, you're not going nowhere. So I ain't just running over him, you know. I let my foot off the brake, and it was in reverse. So I heard like a and I was like, okay. So he moved, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and all I see is him getting up off the ground, and he like dusting his pants off. He is pissed. So he walks right in the house. He walked right past me in the car, like he had nothing else to say. He was done. Okay, he was done with me. He was done with her. Wasn't no more, you know. Wasn't no more trying to salvage nothing. Not for the day, you know. So I pull off. Homegirl long gone. I pull off. I try to find her. I go to another town over, trying to find her. And then I ended up not finding her or whatever. And I haven't seen her since that day. But I remember, you know, being so pissed off at her that I still wanted to get her, you know, because she was just way too disrespectful at the mouth. And you mad at me for what? You mad at me because I'm in a relationship with this dude and he not in a relationship with you? That's your fault. That's what you want me to do about it? I didn't even know about you, you know? And they were exes. Like, they have been over for a little minute from my understanding. So I ran him over or whatever, and, you know, I tried to go find the girl, and I ended up, you know, coming back, getting my stuff, and I went back to Dallas that day. And I remember putting on social media, I'm gonna stay single until my man can, until I can find me a man who'd keep his wine thing in his pants. I was so mad, and I was so childish because I put that on Facebook. Like, I remember I was livid. Okay, I was livid all the way hot. Okay, so it's crazy because with all of that, you know, he apologized or whatever over the years and stuff like that. We ended up being best friends. Like, him and I are best friends now. Time I think about it, I think about him dusting those pants off, and I think it's so funny. So yeah, I think it's so funny how, you know, the memory I have of it, I have of him dusting those pants off. And, you know, I have grown up since then. I don't let all of that go. You know, for me to be able to be best friends with him, I don't care nothing about homegirl no more because, you know, we live and we learn, we grow up or whatever like that. Like, I can see her today and I would still be fine. But yeah, that's the story of how I ran over my ex, and don't play with me.